Greetings and welcome once again to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. Today I'm going to be talking once again about how numbers are realized and how we derive them correctly without any nonsense such as you find in set theory and mainstream academia. Now, some time ago in 2023, I uploaded this video, the 4 basic operations of arithmetic. It was actually done by an anonymous contributor for me. And it's a very good video in that it explains how these operations work without using numbers at all. So I'll place a link to that in a while, but I'm going to show you that you can't use nonsense like piano axioms or set theory or any of the other drivel that you find incorrigibly stupid morons like what you see in front of you, Terence Dow, Gilbert Strang, all the fools from MIT math department and Oxford and Cambridge and Stanford. They're all incorrigibly stupid fools who've never understood the concept of number. And of course, they're not entirely to blame. These idiots got their ideas and continued their bogus mathematics on the foundations of the 40 clowns, commonly known as the Bourbaki group. So these 40 clowns didn't understand Euclid. And from there, the light and beauty of mathematics faded, and these infinitely stupid morons went off on a tangent and have never come back since then. Okay, so let's dismiss this moron and his garbage, which is this. This is his book on real analysis. Total bullshit, total circularity. He assumes many things in what he's saying, and the piano axioms are not axioms. They're actually just pure drivel. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how this all works. Now, if you assume that this green line is the unit. You can assume many of them are the unit, but I'm going to assume that the green line is a unit. And if I do that, then I assume that the magenta and the blue segments are the operators, okay, or not the operators, the operands, and so is the red line an operand. It's always the case that if I want to subtract either from each other, it's just a case of taking a compass, right, and finding the difference, or to find the sum, I just take the length of the entire line, right? In other words, with a compass. So that's difference and sum in that order, by the way, because addition doesn't come before sum. You cannot define difference in terms of sum, but you can define sum in terms of difference. Then the next thing we do is we define division, and we take this as the divisor and these 2 line segments here as the dividends. And if we want to know what the quotient of the red line with the magenta line is, it turns out to be this blue, the ratio of this blue line to the green line. Okay. In other words, if we get a pen and we wanted to see what the red line divided by the length of the red line divided by the magenta line is, it would be this blue line here, ratio of that to the little green line, okay? Similarly, if we wanted to divide the red line by the blue line, it would be the magenta line, which is slightly smaller, to this ratio, okay? And algebra, there's no numbers. There's not a single thing about number being used here. We're not even close to numbers yet. This is all geometrical, okay? Where algebra comes in is it takes the measure of these ratios, all right? So what does that mean? Well, let's see now what that means. Supposing we show the measures, right? And so what GeoGebra is doing is assuming that all these are measured in terms of 1. But now suppose we wanted to know what is the product of this line and this line. So we would end up multiplying this 0.73 by 1.02, okay? We would multiply it. We'd say 0.73099 multiplied by 1.02047. And you'll go, whoa, wait a minute, that's not the same as 1.87586. Well, that's because you're using a different unit. You're using this 0.3976. So if you divide that by 0.39766, you get the red line. See that? Okay, so let's make this a lot simpler for idiots like you. Let's put in a grid. So we'll show a grid with major grid lines, and we'll get rid of these. We'll just put these things out of the way for the time being. Okay, all of these. I wanted to delete, not rename. Okay, there we go. Now, supposing we make that one little segment like this, and we take, let's make it 1. Right, show measures, hide measures. Okay, let's say we have that as a unit now, right? And that actually corresponds to 1 in GeoGebra. And we want to multiply that by, let's say, 1.5, right? So what is the length of this line? It must be 1.5, right? Let's see. Yep, 1.5, isn't it? And if we want to divide 1.5 by 1.5, it's 1, isn't it? Does that make sense? Okay, and if we did that, then 2 times 1.5 is 3. If we wanted to reduce the unit to a half, then this line here becomes 6, right? Because that's 3 divided by 0.5. Does that make sense? So you can do everything you need to do, all the arithmetic you need to do without numbers, okay? No numbers are required. But then you ask me, what about numbers? Well, listen, you morons. The symmetry of the circle allows one to use it as a calculator with 100% precision. At this stage, you know nothing about numbers, and you don't get to define anything like that imbecile Piano and George Cantor and the morons that came after them. You don't get to define anything. Not even God gets to define the arithmetic operations. Do you understand that? I don't care who you are. You're just a prize moron compared to my intelligence because I revealed these things to you. How did I reveal these things to you? Because I'm much smarter than you are. That makes the difference. Okay, so your piddly widdly shitty little definition is wrong if it's not this. Why? Because it's not based on the sound concepts of geometry. In geometry, you don't get to decide what is correct or incorrect. You don't get to define squat, you fucking morons. Now, to help you understand these things, I'm going to give you 3 articles as well as a link to this. The articles are on Academia, and the first one is going to explain to you what I've been explaining to you here. Gabriel arithmetic without numbers. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to explain to you. Then the next article I'm going to give you is going to explain to you how you realize number. So the first article is this one here, Gabriel arithmetic without numbers. The second article is realization and development of number in one page. And this follows Gabriel arithmetic without numbers. The first article you study is this one. Then you go to realization and development of number. And then you go back and you study my other articles, such as my book, in fact, my free ebook, which is, I think it's over here. Here, you study my free ebook, which shows you what algebra and geometry do, the difference between geometry and algebra. So this is one of the top read books, and it's free here with a watermark. You can get it without a watermark on Amazon Kindle. So if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, become a subscriber. Click like that. Okay. Follow me on Academia.edu. Tell your friends about this. Study my work. I am the greatest mathematician today. Nobody is smarter than I am. How do I know? Because I happen to be a genius. I mean, listen, you morons. I don't need you to confirm my intelligence. I know I'm intelligent. So, and I don't need you to be humble to anybody so that they can acknowledge my greatness. It's a self-evident thing, you fucking morons. Till next time, goodbye.